The most obsolete idea is go to school, get a job, work hard, save money, get out of debt, and invest for the long term in the stock market. See, why would you save money when they're printing trillions of dollars? The gap between the 1% and 99% is massive. You see, it's not just money. You have to step back and look at the bigger picture.
So what do you do?
Robert Toru Kiyosaki is an American entrepreneur, businessman, and author known for having a reputation in the personal finance and business industry. He's the founder of Rich Global LLC and the Rich Dad Company, which is a financial education company providing business and finance education to people in the form of books and online through content creation, etc. He's the author of the well-known best-selling book Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which is a book about his two dads, his real father, who was the poor dad, and the rich dad, who was the actual father of his best friend. This book tells us the story of how Robert learned many different lessons about the world of money and personal finance through these two individuals. His dad was a doctor and his friend's dad didn't even make it to the end of the 8th grade. And so, as you could imagine, the contrast between the two individuals is very great. And so the book has many amazing and great financial lessons that can be learnt from it, but here are 3 of some of the best lessons we've decided to share with you. Make sure to like the video as it does help a lot, and maybe we can do a part 2. Now let's get straight into it. Number 1, the rich make their money work for them. It's not how much money you make that matters, it's how much money you keep, says Robert Kiyosaki. There's a reason why the rich are rich in the first place. They know how to create wealth and retain it. The average person in modern countries such as the United States, the UK and Australia, etc. all have some sort of consumer debt. Research shows that the average American has 50k worth of debt. Consumer debt really stops an individual from creating the capital to create long-term wealth for themselves. The rich invest their money into assets such as houses, businesses, and shares of companies and other products or service ideas that have the potential to make themselves more money. They also have the capital available so that when an investment opportunity arises, they have the funds to make the most out of the opportunity. So as an average individual, if someone is spending all of their hard-earned money on things that they don't need, like clothes and expensive cars, holidays and vacations, etc., it will become a lot more difficult to invest this money into things that will make them more. Paying interest on debt is also a killer of someone's financial success. Credit card and personal loan debt and interest can really stop someone from achieving their financial goals. And this is why debt should be paid off as soon as possible if you have any, and interest should be avoided to begin with altogether. Number 2, financial literacy is key. The single most powerful asset we all have is our mind. If it is trained well, it can create enormous wealth, says Kiyosaki. Intelligence solves problems and produces money, but money without financial intelligence is quickly lost, says Kiyosaki also. How many stories have you heard of people becoming millionaires and then losing it all, especially the ones that became millionaires overnight? If someone can't handle a small amount of money and they end up using it on the wrong things and getting debt, etc., it can surely become a mess. However, if someone is responsible for large amounts of money and they were to then exercise some of those same bad habits, they will not just create a mess, but a massive mess that will become a lot harder to clean up. And this is why having financial literacy is important when it comes to handling and managing, nurturing and growing money. And without learning how to be sensible and responsible with your money, it will be a lot more difficult to become successful financially regardless of how much money you make. Number 3, understanding the difference between an asset and a liability. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, and a liability is something that takes money out of your pocket, Kiyosaki explains in his book. To put in simple terms, assets help you grow and nurture your wealth and net worth, whereas liabilities are a cost and only further take away your financial resources from you. An example of a liability could be a brand new personal car that may be bought from the showroom that will depreciate in value as soon as it's driven out of there. After a year or 2, that car may have lost a third of its value. You also have to pay for fuel and maintenance costs too, and unless it's being used for business purposes or to serve useful purposes that help make more money, this can be considered as a liability. Another example of a liability is income taxes, which needs to be paid every single year. However, there are legal ways to pay less of this, although it's something that can't be avoided totally. Credit card interest is also another liability that can be mitigated if paid off in full every month. An example of an asset is a property bought with a deposit that creates monthly residual income. Another asset can be a business that generates net positive income on a monthly basis. A share that continues to grow over the years can also be considered as another asset. You get the idea. And so the goal is to maximize assets whilst minimizing liabilities. That's it for the video, guys. If you did like it and learned something new, please make sure to leave a like and comment down below on any suggestions for any future videos. Until next time, peace.